Hi, Stacy here with Bluebird Paper and Thread and Chanel, Sweet Angel Baby Chanel, coming to you today on Saturday, January 6th. I hope you had a fantastic first of the year. Ours was very quiet. It was perfect. So that was good. Yes, it's the 6th. I had to double check, make sure I had my days right. I decided today, we haven't seen Chanel in a while, so I decided to bring her out. She's a little skittish, so I will be putting her back. But she's a big girl now, 4 months, growing, growing, growing. She's shaking. She doesn't remember being out here. It makes her a little nervous. But she's doing well. She's sweet angel baby with the teeth and talons of death is what I call. She's at that phase where it's a lot of biting because she's teething, and her claws get so sharp so quickly. So, but we are totally enjoying her and loving having her around. So she's the good baby. Not that the dog isn't. The dog, we did our first day of our second class, which is how to walk on a leash. He does really, really well on a leash, but he does pull a little bit. So I thought we can benefit from being with other dogs, and we can benefit from whatever information she has to share. So we went. This week has been unfortunate, really, really busy because I've had to work early every day this week. Oh, she's chewing on wire. Okay, sorry about that. I looked down and she went straight over to the extension cord and started gnawing on it. And I thought, oh, we can't have a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation moment out here. Her mother would kill me. So I had to put her up. This week with the dog, I think that's where I left off. Little unusual. We were running winter camp, so I had to be there early, so like 6:30 in the morning every day this week. So that meant no morning walk. And then when I came home, I was starting to feel like I was getting a little under the weather, and I'm not sure if it's because I was getting up at 4:30 in the morning, or if I really was not feeling great, or just stuffy because our weather is kind of wonky right now. So I would take a little bit of a nap, and then we were busy every evening this week, it seems like. So there was not a lot of exercise for the dog. So last night, yesterday afternoon, my son sends me a video and he's like, is this his toy or something that's yours? And I had one of those resin head vases where it's the sweet little girl, and she had her hands and her head in her hands, and the top is open, and you can plant it with like a trailing plant, and that would be her hair. And so I see dirt, and then he comes up onto the porch, and I see shards of resin, and then I see the sweet little face staring up at me, and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that was mine. It was a planter. He's like, okay, I'll clean it up. And I can't be mad because he has not gotten the same amount of attention that he got obviously the last week when I was off. But not only that, no walking, no exercise really. I mean, I throw the ball for him in the evening a couple of times, and try to work with him training, a little bit, but the attention span just wasn't there. I have metal roses that they look very shabby chic. So they're rusty, and they're painted white, and they're rusting. And I have them in different potted plants, and he's decided that yesterday he was going to bring me one of each. All of them. I think I have 3. I might have 4. I don't think he's found one more. But I hear this noise, and I go and I look, and there at the the threshold of the door is one of my metal roses, and he's like, I brought this for you. So we're going through that. And again, I'm not mad because he hasn't been worked with this week. It's just been one of those weeks. So we went for a walk today, a nice walk. I think we were probably gone about 40-45 minutes. The same you know, just under 2 miles that we normally do, but I was stopping him and making him like heel, and we were starting to work on that a little bit, so it took a little bit longer. And he was tired, so he's been much better behaved today than he has been all last week combined. So I think we're going to be right back on track until I have to go in at the end of the month 3 days at 6:30 in the morning, and then we'll have that week will be a challenge. So anyways, I did my New Year's Eve 12 by 12, but I think I only got to 8, maybe 9 of the 12. I wound up setting a timer, which worked really well, unless I forgot to hit go, start. So a couple of them, I think I worked on a little over an hour, but I got a new start or two. I did a restart, and I worked on a couple of whips. So I was really pleased with what I did that day. It was a lot of stitching, I'm not gonna lie, and by the end of the evening, actually by mid-evening, I was starting to get that headache, and I was starting to drop my needles. It's a lot. It really is a lot. So you know, whatever I can get done on that day is what I can get done. I do have fun doing the 12 by 12, but I also kind of wonder, what if I just spent the entire day on one piece? What would that do? So I may pick a day this year, or that may be next year's 12 by 12, like New Year's Eve stitch, and see what that brings me. And how that would work out, and what I could get done on that if I just work on one piece. I had a finish. My temperature chart is done, framed, ready to be hung on the wall, so I'll show you that. I do have a little bit of haul, and can I tell you that my my controlled shopping lasted all of 3.5 days. I cannot watch floss tubes. I cannot look at newsletters that pop into my inbox, because I am weak and I will buy. I don't think I did too badly. I don't even remember what I bought. No fabric, no floss, which is what I was going to allow myself to buy for a project from my stash. But yeah, I know I got the Quaker winter chart coming, and then I had to order the floss from Color and Cotton directly for that. So that's coming. And then I ordered the Valentine Day Quaker, and I think another small Valentine stitch, because I don't think I have a lot of Valentine smalls for tiered trays and my trays that I have been putting out for display and that kind of a thing. So I ordered one that looked like it would be a fairly quick stitch. What else? I feel like I ordered a couple of other things. I think I ordered the Brenda Gervais. There's a new chart out by her. Be Mine or something. It's Annabella finished it, or Brenda finished it on a long narrow pillow, and I thought, oh, okay. I liked it because it had birds in it, and I feel like there was one more that I bought. I needed to restock on floss drops, so I did that. I restocked on my project bags because they're all being used, and I was out of my self-sticking mounting boards, so I bought that too. So those things are necessities because you have to have them to keep moving forward. And then today, I from my Secret Santa, I got my gift this week because she was out when we did our Secret Santa gift exchange last week, or before the holiday. And I got a Hobby Lobby gift card, so I wasn't going to go today, and then all of a sudden I got dressed, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go. So I went to Hobby Lobby, And I had purchased a set of drinking glasses, a set of 10, and I needed at least 20 to 25. So I went back today, partially because of that, but partially also because I have 3 things now that I want to fill with Valentine's Day smalls, and I don't have very much to do that with. So I now do, as well as some stuff that has a lemon theme and a sunshine theme. And also I bought a couple of things, one package of glittered shamrocks for my shamrock display, and some felt roses from the Valentine shop, and a frame. I'll show you the frame in a little bit. It's a small frame, but the frames are half off, so if you need frames for any projects right now, they are half off at Hobby Lobby, so I suggest you go. So yeah, and then I had a New Year's Day start, and I love it. So happy. I'll show you that. But yeah, I think it was a really productive week for how busy and how chaotic the schedule was. I feel like I got a lot done, and that's in part because of the New Year's Eve 12 by 12. So my finish, let's start there. My finish is the temperature chart from Fat Quarter Shop. I did the high temperature where I live, and it didn't matter if I was traveling. I did the high where I was living. And this is my finish. Not at all what I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to have a lot more of the deeper pinks and reds, because honestly, we usually get up into the hundreds a couple times, like 2, 3, 4 times at least during the summer, and we really didn't this year. This year, the highest temperature that we had was in August, and it got to be 97 degrees. There are days where, like in September, we've been 112, 115 for days, and none of that. So it turned out differently than I thought it was going to, but I still think it's very pretty. I still am enjoying it. My husband he's like, wow, that's really cool. It's going to be hanging up in here. And then what I did is I added the date right here. I just stitched the date so I would know what year this was. And then I may or may not put a description of what this is on the back. I haven't figured that out yet. So the colors aren't exactly what I would have picked. I'm not 100% green and yellowy orangey person. There's a lot of like mac and cheese yellow in there, but I do think it turned out really pretty, and I am glad that I did it. I'm also glad that the year is over. I don't have to do it anymore. It was an undertaking, and I have to say I feel quite relieved that I don't have to do this. I don't have to think about it anymore, really. So, yep. I got a fully finished object. And now I have an empty project bag. Let's see. New Year's Eve. Okay, one of my new starts was it's Freezin season. Cocoa and Kisses. This is by Anniebeez Folk Art. And I had a small start. I'm stitching this 1/1. It came with the fabric. I bought the floss pack. Actually, I think it's this way. I think I'm working up. That took an hour. Now, I know some people had their thread ready to go. They had it all lined up, and so all they had to do was put something down and pick up the next one and just go. I didn't do that. So I had to find the center of the fabric and find the center of the piece, and I had to of the chart, and then I had to, you know, pull out my thread. And so I did not prep to that extent. The prepping was getting the things bagged, kitted, and ready to go. I got a ways to go, but it's going to be small, and I got started on it, which is what I wanted to do. I'm using all the called for flosses. So I didn't buy the floss pack. I bought the Krynic. It has Krynic. It has vintage tinsel for the trim, and Krynic flosses in silver and a real pretty blue. This is what I bought. I supplied the threads. Probably should put these on floss drops. And let's see. I started my Wintertime. This was the Stitching Seasons Fat Quarter Shop series, quarterly stitch quarterly. They provided the bag, the floss, which is minty green opalescent Aida. It's got a real pretty shimmery green thread going through, 14 count. I believe it came with the flosses. Again, I have to put these on floss drops, but I ran out. It came with a card that tells you what came in the kit, a needle minder, which I'll show you in a moment, and the detailer. But pretty bag. This is one that I actually won the giveaway. They, for their anniversary, from their newsletter, they picked winners to win 2 of the Stitch Quarterlies, and I was one of the winners. So I got the fall, which I didn't start at all yet, and then this one came in. And then that's it. If I want to continue, I'm on my own, and we'll see. I got quite a bit done on this, but it's 14 count Aida, so it's pretty easy to stitch on. And that's the needle minder, super cute. But the fox, I worked on the fox, so most of its body is done. He is kind of hard to see. He's showing up a little bit on this, you know, better in person. I think once we get the gray in there, he'll pop off a little bit more. If not, I may go through and use a very light gray and outline the white, just so he has a little more definition, a little more dimension. But I think he's cute. Next, I started Polar Bear Express from Hands On Design. This is from their Polar Plunge series. I'm stitching mine on 32 count frozen fractals. I already have Wally the Walrus done, but I started the Polar Plunge. So I got the bottom part of the ice that the polar bear is peeking over and one of the trees started. And I started on the second tree. Really cute. This fabric is beautiful. It's got lots of minty greens and teals and purples and blues. I would definitely like to get this one finished by next year so I can enjoy it the whole winter season, like Christmas through winter. I realized I don't have a lot of winter things. Like I have nothing prepared for a January tier tray. Nothing. And I don't quite know how that happened. And of course, once you're past Christmas, all of the winter stuff goes away. So I need to focus on some of the months that I don't have a lot for. Called for flosses. Real pretty. Very winter-like. And then my restart. This is Heart and Hand Seaside Tiny Town. I had started it on this fabric. My Garden in Autumn by Manny Didonna. And I got to a point and I'm like, I just am not liking it. I mean, even if I, try to make it smaller, it wasn't turning out the way I thought it would. And I think part of it is this lighthouse. I'm just not happy with it. The colors are too muted and too beige. So I decided, well, what if I redid it and I did it on a blue? And the 32 count blue that I had on hand was Polar Plunge. And so I restarted it. I didn't get very far, but I was able to get a restart. This one started a little bit later in the day, like the evening, so I had a few mistakes, but I got the waves started. And I already like it so much better. It's popping off of the fabric so much nicer. So I did a restart, and I will probably frog this and put this back in my stash. And then on this one I'm using the called for. So these colors look really nice. Even the blue looks nice. These peaches look nice with it. So I think I made a good decision there. I love the Tiny Town pieces, so I really want to make sure that I'm enjoying this stitch because they are fairly quick and they're They're fun and they're not a common shape. They're long and narrow, and I love them. So I wanted to really enjoy that one. I put some time in on stitching seasons with Stitching with the Housewives Winter. This was a kit or a club participation type thing. You got the needle minder, the cute bag, not the needle minder, the charm zipper pull, the bag, the finishing fabric, which is Chelsea's checks, a little brochure on what's in the bag, of course the chart, the fabric, which is 28 count thin white pine board, even weave thin white pine board by Fabric Flair, and it comes with the called for flosses. And I had a start on this one, a tiny little start, but I think I made really good progress on it and I moved it along. So I've got just about 2 roof lines done with the white snow and one snowman. So I need to start the second snowman, which is over here, and then I can come over here and work on that one. Working up pretty quickly. That was an hour of stitching, and all I had done before was a little bit of this roof. So I was able to do the snowman and some of the snowflakes and bring the roof lines over. This is the one I think I forgot to set my timer on. I am stitching Just Stitch, a Patreon pattern from Teresa Kogut from 2023. It's the March ornament. I am stitching this on, I did a color conversion, and I am stitching this on a wooden canvas, I guess. And so I just had the flower and Just Stitch and these flowers done. So I was able to add the leaf and bring it all the way up into here. And this is probably a little over an hour. Not much more, but a little bit over an hour. And as long as we can keep the design in the circle, I'm going to be thrilled. And I think it's going to work out. I counted and counted and double counted and triple counted a million times, and I think it's going to work. It's turning out really, really cute. I have not decided what my final color choices are going to be, but so far this is what I'm working with. Once I get them finalized and I like them, I will list them below. But I'm still, the color conversion can still alter a little bit. I wanted to celebrate the years. We celebrated 30 years in July, so I'd like to get this done before we're at 31 years this coming July. I am stitching this with my wedding colors. So these are the wedding colors. The bridesmaids' dresses were this jade teal color, and then I had lavender flowers that were this color. it was funny. The joke, even to this day, is my flowers were lavender. They were lavande, is what they're actually called. And I haven't been able to find a rose actually called lavande. Otherwise, I would buy the bush to have here at the house because I'm sentimental like that. But I don't know where she got her roses from. But they were lavender. They were called lavande. They were about this color. And then the pink was an accent. I am stitching this on 32 count Belfast linen in the color Slate. And I had Celebrate already done, so I added years and I started working on the 0 in the 30. This one will be a quick stitch if I can just focus on it. I think I'm going to like it. I think it's going to turn out really nicely. So it felt good to get my hands on this one again. I was going through, as I was setting up my calendar for 2024, I am recording my whips in a different way. So I went through every single whip that I have, and I've got a lot. And I've been thinking about what's my plan going to be to get some of these across the finish line and fully finished in 2024. So my son got his girlfriend a basket of goodies, and the basket couldn't get on the plane with her. So they said, if you want it, you can have it. I'm like, yes, I want it. So in that basket, I have things for the next 3 seasonal things that are coming up. So Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's, winter, and Easter, and spring. So I've got winter through spring, Valentine's, St. Patrick's Day, and Easter. If I had those projects kitted or started, they're in that basket. And I would like to focus on those each week along with the other things that I'm doing. I want to have cute little cross-stitchy things for Valentine's Day out, and I've got some, but not what I now think I need. Same thing with St. Patrick's Day, and same thing with Easter. I focus heavily on Christmas and Halloween. I realized I don't have much of anything else. So I separated those out, and the ones here that fall into any of those themes will go into that basket. And I will try to stitch a couple of those each week, along with my other things. And then I have a basket that are for my new starts that are kitted or partially kitted. I haven't started them yet, but they're ready to go. And then I've got my 2 whip bags, which are, one is grossly overstuffed, and it's the seasonal one, and then one that's like my everyday stitching that doesn't really coincide with a season. So I really would like to focus on stitching through some of those. If I'm going to start something new, pull from my stash. I've already blown that because I've already bought new charts. I didn't want to buy new charts until Nashville Needlework. And Hello from Liz Matthews already showed one that's going to be released, and it's adorable. It's a beehive. She stitched it on like a cobalt blue. It's beautiful. So of course that one's on my list. I have to get that one. You know, I keep adding. And then I was sitting there thinking, I'm almost full. Like, my binders are almost full. What do I need to do? And then I realized, oh, I have an empty 4-drawer filing cabinet in the garage. I think my finished projects are going to go in there. The ones that I don't want to move on or pass on to other people. It's a lot. I had these floss drops before, and you can see that they are breaking really easily, and this section here was supposed to, the end of the DMC band was supposed to slip right over there. It doesn't fit. So I have 2 or 3 broken ones. Like this one broke clean off. So I have to switch those floss drops. This one I put in The Simple Life. Teresa Kogut Mystery Sal. I'm not sure if she's released it yet. I'm not sure where she is in that process. She will eventually be releasing it. I don't know that she's done that yet. I worked for literally an hour. I don't feel like I got a lot done. But I finished off the flowers in the border here and down the side, adding the red, and then I went in to start adding the other color. So I'm starting with this like peachy cream color, and then I'll go to the wood rose, I think is what the color is. And then I added red in the chimneys on the roof line. And that's where it got in an hour. I don't quite know why, but it did. I didn't get as far along as I thought. I thought I'd get the roof done at least. And I started, like I finished the thread that was going with the roof line, and I thought, no, let's go back up and start. Let's finish that border. And that way I can, when I hit the house, I can start moving down, and that's what I chose to do. This is the whole piece. When it's done, it's going to be adorable. I can't wait to get it done. But I was able to put in an hour. And this one was not on my whip list or my new start list for New Year's 12 by 12, so I added it. So I actually wound up with 13. And I thought that it was on my list, but it wasn't. Susan's Little Sampler by From the Heart. I am stitching this with the called for colors. Really nice, soft, muted spring colors. And I'm stitching this on 40 count lambswool linen. And I got a jump on the border. I think this is going to look really pretty on this fabric. It's just so soft and springy. It makes me want to get to like April already. March or April. So that's a new start. This is the type of chart that won't be put in my seasonal basket because it could apply to any season, or it's more general in a theme. So it goes into my sampler general bag. If that makes any sense. And I don't think this was part of my New Year's Eve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, did I get 10 done? I might have gotten 10 done. I'm better than I thought. I know I worked on this one right after Christmas. Reindeer games. And I've started with this one up here. And I'm stitching this on 40 count vintage country mocha, I believe. Newcastle linen in vintage country mocha. And I was able to get the reindeer halfway done. So I'm working on his little sweater. I got the ground done. I need to do his ankles and his feet. And then I need to do Santa and the greenery around him. Excuse me. I will use the finishing pieces that were included, and I am going to finish them as she did, with the rickrack and the ornament painted red. I just think it looks really cute. The only thing I might do is the ornament topper. I might heat emboss in silver rather than paint it in silver or white. But this is a fun stitch. I would love to get these done so that they could be fully finished well before Christmas next year. And of course, I'm using the called for colors. And I love this color palette. I just think it's so pretty. So that got a little love this week. See, I got a lot done. I put in a couple of evenings on my floral motif sampler. I am stitching this on sampler gold by Color and Cotton, a 40 count linen. And I'm using the silk conversion by The Attic in Mesa, Arizona. And when I pick this up, I cannot put it down. So beautiful. And this is my progress. I'm trying to take pictures of my progress as I go and post them on my Instagram. So some of you might have already seen these, but just look at it. I finished this motif here, and I added this motif, although I messed up a little bit, but I think I was able to make it work. And I added this little one and this one down here, and there's another bigger one that goes right here. So I made quite a bit of progress, and I am enjoying this one so much. It's so beautiful. This is one that will get framed with museum glass because it's silk and it's going to be heirloom quality. It's so pretty. So I did a couple nights on that one. And then in the spirit of just finishing something already, I pulled out the last couple of nights my Autumn Days ornaments because I thought I only had 3 left to do. Well, I had 4. So I worked on it the last 2-3 nights, maybe the last 2 nights, and now I only have 1 left to do. So I finished pie, apple pie, and I finished the jelly, although this one I messed up on. I know it looks a little off kilter here, but that's because the bow takes up so much space on the left. Is it the left? The right? On the side? I'm supposed to have 1 more row coming down. So this is a little narrower here, and when I figured it out, I was literally putting in my last row of green. And all of the other stuff had already been stitched. So really all I had to do was do the green and fill in a little bit of this orange. And when I discovered it, I thought, nope, we're just gonna leave it. It's not the prettiest of them, not the most eye-catching of the 12. We're human. It's okay. I'd rather have it finished than to have to do one more. So I did that, and then I finished fall leaves. And I messed up on this one too. This leaf right here is supposed to be sticking out, not down. But I thought leaves can go whichever way they want. It's okay. The design is showing up a little bit better in real life than it is on the camera. So these 3 are done, and the last one that I'm working on is I Love Fall. So the motif is just about done, and then I can do the green. I should be able to finish that up this weekend, and then it'll be done, and they will all be ready for a full finish. And that will clear some stuff out of my finishing drawers, and we'll get something else done ready for the fall of 2024. So I'm so close to a finish. I'm just going to push through and finish them. This is being stitched on 25 count parchment even weave. And I'm using the called for colors. I think this was a floss pack I picked up. So this will be a finish soon. My New Year's Day start, Entwined Hearts by the Scarlet House. I made some changes to this one. I loved the Aztec red that it calls for, and that's originally what I wanted to do. But I had ordered peony linen, and it is from, let's see, is there a tag on this one? Fiber on a Whim, and I loved it. But then I didn't love the called for colors that are on the red. So I changed 3 of them. I kept Black Coffee, and then I chose Weeks Dye Works Begonia and Cherub for the pinks. I wanted to add in some pinks. And then I did Oatmeal, Gentle Art Oatmeal for a white, and I kept the Black Coffee Classic Colorworks. And this is my start. And I am loving it. I need to add another thing there. I think it's going to be so pretty when it's done. I haven't got the cherub on here yet, so hopefully it will show up. I will make that decision when I get something stitched to see what it looks like, and if I want to change it, I'll change it before I get too deep into it. It's a bigger count than what the called for was. I think the called for was 40, and I'm stitching this on 36 count. So it's going to be just a smidgen bigger, but not much. But so far, I love it. So that was my New Year's Day start. And this can go into a new project bag. I didn't have project bags, so I'm keeping it in the bag that the pattern came in. I can't fight with that right now. And that is it for stitching. haul. My Week's Dye Works Floss Frenzy came in. Cocoa, Cognac, Collards, Concord, and Copper. And these are very pretty fall-like colors. I am loving them. So I'm glad to have those added to the list. I forgot I ordered these. They're more beads. These ones are black and red plaid with snowflakes on them. And they say peace and believe. Mary and joy. Again, from Amazon. If they're not already linked, I will do so in the description box below. I wanted to stock up on finishing pieces because of my Finish Palooza. I thought I need to have more stuff at my fingertips to make it easier to finish. Hobby Lobby today, the frame that I picked up was half off of $14. Just this cute little 4x4 resin frame. I just love the detail, and it's got some really good weight to it. So yeah, resin. I loved the detail. Perfect for a small. I'm thinking Valentine's Day maybe. So I picked up this. And then Patreon for Teresa Kogut. I only printed out 2 of the 3, and I haven't decided about the ornament yet. Tier 2, 3, and 4. Everybody gets this from Teresa Kogut's Patreon group. And I love it. It's so cute. And then tier 3 and 4 gets this one. Again, a peaceful heart. And I love it. I think it's so cute. The other one is a hand with a heart or a bird. I don't know. It wasn't quite my taste, so I did not download it right away. I may still go in and download it. I mean, I can always download it and print it later or delete it later if I want to. But these 2 are the ones that really caught my attention. So I picked up those. And those are no cost with the... That's what you get for being a Patreon member. Yeah, I think that's it. Longer video today. Thank you so much for staying with me. We have had a little bit more growth with the channel. We're at 1,100 subscribers, a little over 1,100. So thank you so much. If you are brand new to the channel, thank you. I appreciate you hitting that subscribe button and ringing that notification bell. If you are first time stopping by here and you like what you see, please, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and ringing that notification bell. The goal of the channel, I apologize for the ads, but the goal is that I want the channel to pay for itself, and that means more giveaways for you all. So that is the goal. Sorry, kids. So that is the goal. So if you haven't done so already, please take a moment, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, comment, like the video, share the video. All the things help to push the content out so that more people can see it. I really do appreciate it. And I think that's it. I hope you get a lot of stitching done this week and that you have a good week. I understand that there's supposed to be a lot of snow in the northeast part of the country, so I hope that you stay warm and that your power stays on and all the things that go along with that. I hope you get some stitching time in. Until next week, happy stitching. Bye.